Alrighty. Oh, and yes, this needs to be fixed up again because this is all set up from that conversation. Move this back over here. Get all this chat out of the way. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, hello Mara, hello YouTube, hello everybody. How are we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good, yeah, not bad, not bad. How has practice been going?
I think it's been going pretty well.
Good, good.
I think I was mostly focusing on continuing the fry thing and focusing a little more on my mask components, especially larynx, and on separating that from pitch and weight.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's been going pretty well. I feel like I can fairly consistently keep the low larynx in practice, and I can go higher in pitch with it as well without too much issue.
Okay, cool. Alrighty then, we'll do a. Excuse me. In terms of the fry stuff, how's that coming? How are we doing in terms of outside of Morning Voice?
It's still quite hard to do on purpose, but like I do occasionally have like bits of fry come into my voice when when I've been awake for hours and hours, just like unconsciously. Yeah. So I guess I'm doing something right.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
And
Okay
I feel
then,
like
I'll
I
leave
can
that one for you to
slowly
keep.
work up to. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you go
I
ahead.
feel like I'm slowly working up to a little more each time that I try to keep it in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was at about 40 minutes yesterday. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to do a lot of speaking today, but yesterday went on for quite a while.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Fab. Okay then. Well, I'll let Fry be something you keep working on in terms of building that out and allowing it to enter more and more of your voice outside of morning and now, I guess, evening, which is good. All right, we'll do a warm up and we'll start playing with some of our mask modifications. If you want to follow my lead.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then maximum pitch range. Okay, good. All right, so all right, so we're having a little look at how the mask stuff has been going. If you want to do a real quick demo of, let's just try. I don't know. We'll go for a. We'll just go for a side straw to start with, or you could layer the two together, I suppose. If you want to do a, yeah, we'll layer them. If you want to do a side straw, layer that onto a, or have that followed by a weight draw to take you into some
Yeah.
mask and tell you what you've been up to since your last lesson.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think I have been pretty focused on just exam prep because I only have a month till my exams now, my A levels. I feel like that's been going pretty well. Yeah, I'm not really finding the content too hard. I'm just very ADHD, I guess.
Yeah. No, I can get that.
Uh, yeah. Other than that, um, I have been spending, I think, still a lot of time on the organizing thing that I was talking about last time. The
I'm gonna re-drill that.
Yeah. Well noticed.
okay. Uh, yeah, a lot of time on the organizing thing I mentioned. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can say much else actually. I
No,
had
it's fine.
a
It's fine.
really uneventful week. Yeah.
Okay, that was generally sounding pretty good to me. Occasionally, when you go up in pitch, you lighten in weight just a little bit, but you noticed one earlier. You fixed it pretty quickly, and generally not too concerned. I think get a bit more practice into it so it can be nice and consistent. But it sounded pretty
Yeah.
okay to me. What about you, though?
Yeah, feel I feel like with this size I probably just needed to practice more. I feel like I neglect my mask voice a lot on non-mask days.
Sure.
Yeah, with the weight, I feel like I have been noticing in the new clips that I'm taking with this actually
Sure.
functional mic, I've been noticing that I feel like my weight is still very much tied to my pitch,
Sure.
and like kind of in a way of I feel like if I trying to speak around here, maybe not too high, but then I go a little lower, and like I feel like the weight just creeps back in the moment I go past
Sure.
past a certain point. It's pretty flexible. Uh, sorry, I'm not
Okay.
explaining this very
No,
well.
it's fine. So what you're saying is basically, the exact point shifts a little bit sometimes, but generally as you go to the higher ends of your pitch, you start finding that the weight can be quite difficult to maintain. Obviously.
Higher and lower. I guess
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's sort of like I suppose normally like in a voice that would always be trying to be read as femme, there would be a pitch floor, and if you go below that, then the weight would not like shift
Spot on.
that much, but I feel like in my case when I try to go lower, I instinctively just add weight to help with that.
Oh, I see. So you're saying that as you're going to the lower pitches, you're having an increase in weight.
Yes.
Okay. So to some extent, that's to be expected. Also, hi Lexi in the YouTube chat. To some extent, that's to be expected. So when we would be seeing a lighter weight at a lower pitch, at a higher pitch, no, lower pitch. Eventually, we would expect the sound to just cut out, and you wouldn't be able to support continuing to a lower pitch because the lowest pitches require a bit of extra weight. So
Yeah.
what's essentially happening for you there is just instead of cutting out, you're prioritizing the pitch, which means that you have to go a bit heavier. So like to some extent, this is just an ordinary thing. If we were to be very strict about maintaining the weight instead of keeping the pitch stable, then what would have to happen is this. And it ends up just becoming air because we don't have enough weight to support that low of a pitch. So if you're wanting to, it depends on what are you wanting in that situation to have happen? Are you wanting it to get heavier to support that lower sound, or are you wanting it to cut out?
I guess I would want it to either cut out or go into fry, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like I feel like my androgynous voice goal, if I remember correctly, is kind of in a feminine pitch range, but like lower. And
I would
it kind of
expect that we could
feels
get
like
to
that
those
is
lows
close
without
to
having an issue. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking the lower ends of your pitch, like range. Like if we're going all the way down to, I'll grab a pitch reader.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you won't be able to hear it if I do pitch reader. I'll do it on this. Yeah, so I'm expecting like once we're getting past like once we go into like the second octave, like any of these, I would expect that you'd be struggling with. Third octave stuff though should be totally fine. Like if we're at like a C3, a little bit lower. There's a B2. So I'm at a B2 and I've just started to increase my weight there. So you should be able to access all of that lower range while still having that lighter weight. And if we look at some of the pitches for the androgynous goal, grab you. Because yes, we're looking at the lower end, but we're not looking that low. Like I would generally expect us to be
when it comes to video games and anime and animation, things like that. So
can I can't really plug that through anything now, I can't.
I'm terribly sorry. So will I do an arcane?
Okay, D3 was about the lowest I heard there. I'll just do a bit more.
Audio in the future? I'm sorry. Probably the answer is no.
Maybe a C3. So we're not looking past the third octave necessarily. How are you at those pitches?
I feel like
we can
I'm sort of good until like D sharp 3. I'm definitely fine. Let me try it, I guess.
Yeah, let's just see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. I feel okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That went higher when I started talking.
Yep.
If I can take it a little.
See if we can target
okay.
C sharp 3. Can we get to a C sharp 3 in this stable speaking of that pitch?
Okay. 1, 2, One, oh, that one higher.
You're jumping up
again.
as you go into that speech. So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Mhm.
I feel like there's a little more weight than I could have there.
Sure.
Like I feel up here I can have it pretty light, and then I go a little lower and just a little bit more weight creeps in, I feel like, down there.
I don't think I'm hearing much more.
Um,
Wait.
Yeah, I'm probably way too uh picky about this.
Sure.
I guess it's just
Okay, here's what we'll do.
yeah.
Tell me. Actually, it's going to be very difficult for you to maintain ordinary speech if I'm giving you. I'm telling you to be notice. Give me a number between 1 and 72. We'll just try a couple of these.
34.
34. Okie dokie. Alright, I'll just give you this first 5. Popping back into the Discord chat. And if you're curious over in YouTube, I will have to do a message time, but I'll send those to you as well. And what we'll do is if we go drag yourself to that C# free, and essentially I just want you to maintain a lightweight while keeping things at a monotonous C# free for each of those lines. I'm just sending the last of these into the YouTube chat. If you'd like me to demo one, I am totally fine doing that. If you want me to, or by all means, just go ahead.
Okay. Okay. 9 rows of soldiers stood in line. The beach is dry and oh, I'm definitely going higher than C#3 there. I feel like.
Yeah, see if we can get it as monotonous as possible. Slowing it down might help.
Okay.
So like 9 rows of soldiers stood in line. The beach is dry and shallow at low tide. The idea is to sew both edges straight. Like, try to have that like slightly slower so you can just monotonous do the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. 9 rows of soldiers stood in line. The beach is dry and shallow at low tide. The idea is to sew both edges straight. The kitten chased the dog down the street. Pages bound in cloth make a book.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
I think
It's a little bit. Oh, go on, sorry.
I think I was jumping up on a few of those inflections.
Yeah. Which I'm not too bothered about. That was more just like
Okay.
your ordinary inflection. That was more you like struggling with monotony itself than struggling with C3.
Okay.
So I'm not too
Okay.
fussed, or C#3. So in that case, I think there was a little bit of loudness that we're starting to lose, but that's, I would think, because we're at that lower end. And so I would expect it to be, if this is nearing the limit of your low pitch at a lightweight, then like I would expect it to be getting a bit quiet anyway. So I'm not necessarily concerned, unless you are.
Okay. No, I've maybe I was being overly critical of the clips then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it
Yeah,
sounds
I
like you're
guess that
accessing all of this, no
looks
problem.
like it works.
And like I'm not hearing any like what's going on? 9 rows of soldiers stood in line. I'm not hearing any sounds like this. I'm hearing a very, very soft sound like this.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay then. In that case, where am I taking you today? Because you seem to be doing pretty okay with that weight stuff. You did pretty well with your mask stuff. A little bit of instability on the weight occasionally, but that'll come with practice. Where am I taking you today?
Would it be a good time you think to work on oropharyngeal stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay then. Okay, let me grab my little GIF. I'm sure you're familiar with this, but just for the audience's sake. Okay, so popping this into the Discord chat, and I don't know how I'd put this onto YouTube, but I guess I could do. Okay, yeah, this is what OPC is at a literal level. So if you take a look at that GIF, look inside of his mouth, and Mara, do you see the little claw things that are sort of coming in at the sides of his mouth?
Yes, I do.
Yep. Okay, ignore that. Do you see the dangly thing?
Hmm.
Uvula?
Yes.
Okay,
do.
ignore that as well. Behind all of those, do you see this arch that's expanding and narrowing constantly?
Hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh no, my Wi-Fi is being annoying. The GIF is stuck.
Oh,
Oh, there we
no.
go. Oh,
Okay, yeah, you see that arch
Never mind,
behind
it's
all of those
stuck again.
things?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. So that is the Plato-pharyngeal arch. And it moves around to facilitate some certain vowel sounds. So, for example, on a, e, all of those, it will narrow to help further produce those sounds. And then sounds like o, u, it will expand to facilitate those sounds. Now, an extra thing of this is as that narrows, we are reducing our volume of our vocal tract. So it would also modify the sort of size of the sound. For example, if I go for a sentence which some of you may be familiar with, E speaking from E, you can, okay, if I go through the sentence and then listen to the change, if I maintain that same smaller Plato-pharyngeal arch that comes from that sentence for E's and try to maintain it through the rest of my speech, it kind of sounds like this. E speaking from E, and then I'm continuing that, and we're trying to listen for that sound of the E, even when I'm not using the word or vowel E. Do you kind of hear that in the back of the words? Or like in the background?
Yeah, I think I'm hearing that.
Mm-hmm. It becomes much more obvious if I then counterpose it with the opposite. So if I then go or, speaking from or as in like a cat's paw or something, or speaking from or, and then I try to maintain that through the rest of my speech here, do you hear how there is like a sort of almost cavernous background to these sounds that's very different, or almost like the opposite of the other sounds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
hearing that.
So this is what is often referred to as OPC. That whole structure, not just the Plato-pharyngeal arch, but the whole everything there, is the oropharynx. So when you hear OPC, that's oropharyngeal constriction or closure. And when you hear OPE, that's oropharyngeal expansion. In terms of you guys' interactions with this, and you in particular, Mara, what I want you to focus on is that sound change that you heard in my little demos there. So can you give me an E speaking from E and try to maintain that same sort of background sound that's present in E's? Okay? And you can go into telling me about I don't know, how's revision going, I guess, with your uni work or your college work?
Sure.
So
Okay.
it's just a sentence, E speaking from E. You're trying to maintain that
Yeah.
background sound, smallness, that's coming from those E sounds.
Should I be trying to avoid front, like, what would the term be? Front embouchure? I
Yeah,
guess?
so avoid like your mouth at the front having to have any changes, and this is very easy to do by just allow yourself to say other words. Like, don't have everything sounding like, don't be trying to make the shape of an E in your mouth. Okay, don't, like, you can see I'm like keeping that smile of the E all the time. I want to avoid that. All of your words should be pronounced the same. All of your like I still want you to be able to do a very clear ah and a very clear u, but now your ah is going to be more of a like an ah as opposed to an oh. Does that make sense? There's still ah, but there's something
Yeah.
different about them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
E, speaking from E, revision's been going pretty well, I think. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly right now.
Yeah, I think we dropped a little
Uh,
bit of it, but I think that's because you did a very, very good E speaking from E. Another thing to help you with this is that sort of sound modification. If we're doing the OPC version for E speaking from E, it should bring on a sort of like childlike quality to your voice, because especially when we're maxing it out, we're going to have we're going past like the level of feminization into like becoming more childlike, like we've stripped all the testosterone exposure. It's like if you listen to my voice right now, there's going to be some OPC in it, but if I then go E speaking from E and then I try to maintain that in my voice, you can hear how as I continue speaking like this, there's a more childlike quality that's come into my voice in terms of the size, in terms of just how it sounds, I suppose. And that comes from that like very great amount of OPC. Other voices you might compare it to are like Ziana from Trans Voice Lessons, especially if you go back a couple of years, or if you, I guess it's been a while since any uploads. If you go back to around the time when she did the introductory beginner video thing, during that phase, she was like maxing out OPC. So you really had that big like, hey, it's your girl Z from Trans Voice Lessons. She really had this like really, really small sound that's present in like an E or an R or like an air. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
It makes sense, I think.
So see if you can really punch that. Because in your sentence, you really did punch it. So see if we can continue that through.
Okay.
Mhm.
E, speaking from E. All right. I think that I kind of feel like I have
Yeah.
made a pitch change here too. I don't know if that's
Might be a bit of a pitch
taking
change.
away from it.
We can
Okay.
we can just choose a
Uh,
pitch.
Yeah.
E speaking from E, and then maintaining this kind of an average pitch, where we're at this lower pitch, but we still have this very small, like in the background, there's a small sound to it.
Was that around E3? F3?
That was an F3. But it could be an E3 if you want. Is just whatever. I'm just picking up the pitch.
Yeah, that works. F3 should work. All right. E, there. E, speaking from E. All right.
Well, that is.
E, speaking from E. I think that revision's been going pretty well. I'm taking 4 subjects. I'm pretty much prepared for 3 of them. It really feels like I'm dropping off.
Yeah, we're losing a bit of that. Go for it again.
Okay.
It was kind of a steady, gradual decline, though. Sorry.
Okay. E, speaking from E. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty much fully prepared for 3 of them. It's just the last one, and I have a month to prepare, so I am not too worried.
I think we get a little bit more small of that. Keep going.
Yeah.
Or sentence.
Speak from E, speak from E. Okay.
So because we're getting such a
It's always the
good
pause,
E speaking
right?
from E there, I'm kind of expecting that to be like a smaller, or at least where you are keeping a lot of OPC, but because you're so good at the start, I think we can like maintain that. So I'm expecting your voice like a full on like E speaking from E, and then maintaining the same like really, really small size. Whereas we're kind of slowly shifting to more of a this, which still has some OPC in it, and this is still ever so slightly smaller than my norm. but it's not quite this like extreme level of super small. You might also find in this, you might adjust it on your own, but in case you don't, you might find yourself sounding slightly overfull during this, because I haven't instructed you to do a weight change, and you might not be intuitively doing it. You might on your own find yourself doing that to make it full though.
Okay.
It can be a good way to like help yourself know. Because it's very hard to avoid overfullness when you're this small.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Okay. Speak from E. Speak from E. Speak from E. All right. I think that, yeah, pretty much the only thing I'm worried about still is that I have not done any practical work in a lab, and one of my subjects requires that. So okay. I'm not sure what happened there. That felt weird.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
just
under
gonna go through that
I'm.
again.
You had a big expansion there. I don't know why I'm
Okay.
specifically. You were probably just thinking, or got distracted. Because there's nothing about a word there where I'd be expecting it. That's okay. Go
Okay.
again. Keep going.
E, speak from E. Yeah, I'm pretty. I'm a little worried about that, but I am going to probably try to. The exam center that I'm registered at has a lab that I'm
Starting to expand a
allowed
bit
to
here.
use. And E, speak from E. Yeah, they have a lab that I'm allowed to use to practice it. So I'm probably going to be scheduling a little bit of time there in the next month. Again, it felt like it was tipping a little bit towards the end over there.
Ever so slightly,
Is
yeah.
it still
I think we're
having the-
struggling. We're struggling a little bit to get that same OPC through from our initial sentence. Like there is definitely an initial drop. Just to help you with that, real quick, let's have a go. Let's go back to one of those sentences. We'll just go for like the 9 rows of soldiers stood in a line, and we'll try going super monotonous. Because I'm wondering if part of it is as your natural pitch movements come in, that you're losing bits. Or it might also be just as we're moving towards normal speech, you're also normalizing the OPC. So either way, this would remove that. So if we go for those 9 rows of soldiers stood in a line, but we'll keep it monotonous. E, speaking from E. Excuse me. E, speaking from E. 9 rows of soldiers stood in a line. Okay.
Yeah, I can do
Okay.
that. Speak from E, speak from E. 9 rows of soldiers stood in line.
Not bad. Again.
The beach is dry and shallow at low tide. Do you want me to drill again? Or
Yeah, drill again
just,
real quick.
keep going?
There's a slight expansion
E,
towards the end of that
speak from
sentence.
E. The idea is to sew both edges straight. The kitten chased the dog down the street.
There's still a little bit missing from the sentence. When we go into the speaking, there's still a little bit, it's not big, like you're still getting a decent amount of OPC here. Just I can hear that you can get more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only taking you to the extreme here, just I can hear you can do it, so. Excuse me.
I definitely want to learn the full control, so I'm very okay with that.
It's just a very slight drop as we go from the E speaking from E into the sentences. So, how can I need to get you to identify and hear it. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'm going to throw a few things at you at the same time to hope that some of these stick for you. Okay, first of all, rather than just going with the sentence and that sound change, let's also try to embody this into a character. So for example, when you're hearing OPC, especially in your E speaking from E sentence, what kind of a character actually speaks like this? Like what, if you were to, any kind of character or type of character, what kind of a voice is this? What comes to mind as, oh, it's like a voice of this sort of a, yeah. Just intuitive.
I have no idea.
Sure.
Sorry, I
Few
know it's
at
really
you.
kind of bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Common ones I hear are like a mouse. It's very mousy or small. Some people just say small girl. I had one person say specifically a fairy mouse princess with all of those specific features, and none could be missing. Otherwise, it would no longer be the voice.
I love that.
Yeah, any of those sorts of things shouting out to you.
I could give mouse a try.
Sure.
Maybe that would. Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah, so as you're thinking this, imagine you're voice acting a mouse, okay? So you need to communicate. You're voice acting a mouse specifically for an audiobook. So they can't, the audience doesn't have a visual, so you need that visual to be apparent in your voice. You need your voice to show that the size of a mouse. It's a very small mouse, okay? And we'll go into that first sentence again.
E, speak from E. 9 rows of soldiers stood in line.
Good.
Okay.
That's it. That was
yeah.
spot on. We'll go through the rest of the sentences.
Okay. E, speak from E. The beach is dry and shallow at low tide. That one felt like it fell off a little towards the end.
I don't think I noticed it, but possibly. We'll keep going.
Okay.
Or no, do that sentence again.
E, speak from E. The beach is dry and shallow at low tide.
Slightly larger. I think it's maybe coming in from low. Try that word low. Low. Excuse me. Low. Get it as small as you can possibly get it.
And I'm going to be doing this with just oropharynx,
Just the
right?
word.
No larynx.
Let's just well, you can let larynx as well because when we're doing OPC, it can be helpful when we're initially introducing this to separate it into OPC and larynx, but it can be as we get more of a understanding of this, it can be useful to then bring them back together so that we can tie these behaviors together, because generally, unless we're like doing some like crazy OPC that's like way out of what we would normally do, normally we're wanting this to be like, because it's making the same change to the sound, it's just letting us go further into the scale, so it's a lot less to think about when you're actually doing stuff if this is just maximally small size. Okay, that same reason why I'm telling you to like have this idea of a mouse, because then there's less to think about. There's just the single concept of, oh, like a mouse, or oh, maximally small. The more we can stitch ideas together, the less it is to think about consciously.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Low, 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 low. Okay.
Do you know why you had a little struggle there?
No.
So you started moving your pitch around as soon as you got to that point where you'd start doing a bit of OPC to get to that last little smidgen extra. Try that again. But if you find yourself at a point where it's like you feel like you're going to switch pitch or you don't know where to go, that's the point where we need to punch some OPC. We'll see if we can do it. If not, we can go to the sentence.
Okay. Low, 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 low. No, that is a pitch change again. Yeah.
Okay, go back to the sentence. Use that to help you. Or
Okay.
get to that point and then use the sentence to help you like figure out that jump.
All right. Low, 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 low. E, speak from E. Low, 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 low,
that pitch.
low. Did that go up?
We went
Oh,
up
no,
a pitch,
okay.
yeah.
Let me try that.
Take a moment to get into a certain pitch. low, 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 low. Awesome.
Low, E, speak from E. E, speak from E. Low, 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 low. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there was a big change there.
No, I think that was okay. I think that was okay. Or maybe like a tiny one, but not to a point where I'm particularly concerned. Struggled a little bit to get quite as small. Let's go back to the E speaking from E, just thinking about being small and mousy. Mousy, sorry. And we'll go back into that full sentence. The beach is dry and shallow at low tide.
Okay. E, speak from E. E, speak from E. No, that was a big change. I thought I didn't. Okay. E, speak from E. The beach is dry and shallow at low tide.
Okay, good. That was really good. The low was good. It was all good. We'll keep going then.
Okay.
Rest of the sentences.
E, speak from E. The idea is to sew both edges straight. I feel like I lost a little there, maybe.
I don't think I noticed it. Where do you feel like you noticed it?
On both, I think, around there.
Okay,
Like,
we'll go through a sentence again.
E, speak from E. The idea is to sew both edges straight.
I thought that was fine. Both.
Okay. That
Remember,
works.
we are expecting O to still be larger than E, but like we're expecting it to be smaller than it normally would be, I suppose,
Okay.
because you still need to be able to
Yeah.
like your oropharynx is still involved in O's and U's and O's and all of that, but it doesn't have to. We can reduce the level to which that's the case.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
E, E, speak from E. The kitten chased the dog down the street. E, speak from E. Pages bound in cloth make a book.
Good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. We'll step the difficulty up a little bit. Can we go for? Excuse me. Can we make our way back to E speaking from E? Keep thinking about it being like you're giving me that mousy narration, and we'll give you a stepping stone in terms of making this harder. Give me a narrative. You can make one up on the spot of what that mouse has been up to today. Give me the adventure of that little mouse.
Okay. Yeah. I can do that. E, speak from E. E, speak from E.
Good.
Hi, I'm a mouse. I have. Oh, immediately. Okay.
Well done.
It's always when I stop to think that I lose focus and just
Okay, it's for
go
thinking.
back to normal.
Okay, in that case, I'll take you
Yeah.
out the mouse thing. The only reason for that is possibly it helps you get into character more. But if a thinking thing, that's the downside of it. Okay, tell me about. Excuse me. What are you studying in? If that's something that it can be public knowledge. What is the? What is it you're studying? I feel like you've told me this before.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
I can't remember either. I'll go through it. E, speaking from E. Okay. Yeah. So I am still doing my A levels right now. I have not gone to uni yet because I had a E, speak from E. I had a sickness when I was younger that made me drop out of school. And I've been self-studying since then. So I'm I think I'm like E, speak from E. I think I'm like a few months late technically to finish. But yeah, I'm doing 4 subjects. My
Starting to spine it a little bit.
oh
It's mainly on the
yeah,
ums.
okay. E, speak from E. E, speak from E. Yeah, I think my eventual goal is to either go into fashion design as a career. E, speak from E. Either go into fashion design as a career, or if I can make that work, my second choice would probably be like international relations. I think E,
Cool.
speak from E. Yeah. Uh,
Wow, those are super different.
yeah, they really are.
Hmm. That's cool. Okay,
Uh,
I dig that. Okay, how are you finding all of this OPC stuff? Do you have any questions?
mm, I think it might be a practice thing, I guess,
Yeah, to
for
me, it sounds like you're doing a really
consistency.
good job. And it is just exactly as you're saying, it is just a consistency thing. But you seem to be doing quite well with it. And your aura speaking from aura is also quite good. I would say in your practice, just practice in general. Also practice like at some different pitches. And it might be worth practicing some of your thinking sounds because I notice that's typically where you are dropping, which could either be
Okay.
because of you thinking or because thinking sounds are typically more expanded sounds. Like if you think like uh, uh, that's all like the larger sounds. Um, so it's one of those two that's throwing you off. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am following. I can do that.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, then. So the homework, just keep practicing those things. Continue with your fry stuff, and see if we can start bringing fry into more of like in the middle of a day or something. Because it sounds like you're doing a good job of expanding it into different areas. Excuse me. Yeah, it seems like we're doing a good job of expanding it. Like you're able to maintain the fry much past what I would normally expect. Like you're doing it for enough time that morning voice has gone away. Like I guarantee it's already gone by the time you've
Yeah.
finished. So that tells me you're doing it purely off skill at that point. So let's start transferring that into other times, and maybe come back to it in like just a small amount of time later, so that you haven't like forgotten how to do it. But specifically, do have like a break in between, so that there is like that reset. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Same time next week.
Yeah, that should be
Sounds good.
good. Same time next week should be good. Yeah.
All right. Have a good one then. Any questions
Yeah. Thank you.
from? No worries. Any questions from the people in the various chats? I saw from Lixie earlier. Sorry, I didn't answer you at the time, Lixie. So Ziana has incredible OPC. Yeah, Ziana uses. I noticed she'd stopped using quite as much in some of her later videos. So if you look at like the most recent, in fact, let me just. It's been ages since I've been on their channel, but I'm pretty sure they have stopped uploading at this point. Yeah, they haven't uploaded in a year. Yeah, so like the most recent ones don't have quite so much OPC. But if you go back like to videos where we're closer to like 3 or 4 years ago, there Ziana has quite a lot of OPC. She was really punching it back then. I would guess she was probably close to her maximum OPC, which is why like she sounds like I would describe it as like hyper femme during that time period. So yeah. I would definitely describe her as like, especially in those earlys, really like mega OPC. Her first videos, her even earlier than that videos, there's like an extra bit of brightness, but that's coming at some. She had some issues she was fixing. So like her early videos, she's doing a lot of this all the time and maintaining the smile of the E as well as like everything. which does get you a bit brighter, but also has issues with like your emotional expression as well as pronunciation of certain words. So that was something that she removed because that's like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to turn up at a funeral and you're like this all the time. It's going to be very, very awkward. But yeah, definitely big OPC on Ziana, especially earlier on. Any other questions from anybody? This permanent smirk curse. Yeah, big time. All right, well, if there are no other questions, then we'll head over to the YouTube chats and you can all join Lexi. Also, good to see you, Lexi. It's been a hot minute. Boo, HTTPS youtube.com/trans_network. I forgot the at. It's always the at I forget. Okay, there you go. If you're in the Discord right now, then head over to that link and I will see you over in the YouTube chat. And yeah, all right. I'll catch you all later, people in the Discord. Have a good one. Okay. Bye-bye. 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 Okay, people over in YouTube land. I'm going to pop the screen over to this real quick. While I pop to the toilet, I'll be right back. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, see you. Move this mic around as well. I've got cables upon cables. Let me detangle this for a second. Okay, and that is good. And then I can just put my headphones out of the way. We can go here. There we go. And I'll bring you some music. How's everybody doing today? Boo, 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 boo. There you are. You can have some music. Okay, is that good on the volume? Okay, let me know if you need to turn that down, but that should be totally fine. Yeah, hello. Hi, Lexi. It's been like ages since we've hung out. You just ate a ration for a ration for 2 of carbonara? Class. I'm a bit quiet. I'm quiet or music is loud? Do I need to turn me up or do I need to turn music up? Probably I need to turn music down. Probably need to turn music down. So if I put music around there, maybe that's a bit better. Oh, I need to get my hair in order as well. Freaking headphones are not good for your hair. Okay. I feel like I don't look too horrendous, but also I feel like I look very horrendous. Ugh, whatever. Meet up. Okay, that is interesting. Okay. I guess we can do in here. I'll have to boost it beyond. Okay, how's this? Hopefully that's not like fucking with my quality too much. Headphones are not good for skull shape either. Source made it the fuck up. True. Perfect. Okay, cool. We'll leave it here then. Hopefully, I guess I'll have a listen to the VOD afterwards, but hopefully this hasn't like fucked over quality too much because I have boosted rather than because we are at max otherwise. Oh, also, let's get this mic pointing right way. Okay, hopefully that's fine. Yeah, how are we doing? How are you doing, Lixie? It's been forever since I've seen you. How's your teaching stuff going? I need to straighten my back as well. Ugh. Lessons crisp? Good. Oh, so is that only after I've come back that it's not as good? Maybe I'm just not in the right position in relation to my mic? I don't know. You've been living in VRC? Yeah, I see that you've done like all sorts in VRC. That's gotta be a crazy environment to teach in. I can't imagine doing it in frickin' VRC. Are you doing private lessons? Like you doing one-on-one stuff? There was a student yesterday who came and was like, so you've been doing wait, and you were like, okay, try a big dog, small dog. And she did it and got the biggest you for it. Oh, awesome. So wait, they've just been not doing size? I guess? Or maybe they didn't know about size? I think you can get thrown off a little bit because a lot of people, I would imagine most people probably start with the voice feminization for beginners on the Trans Voice Lessons channel. I mean, 2.2 mil views, I assume that's where most people start. And obviously she has people, she goes into weight, and with the idea being like weight is a better place to start, which fair enough. But then doesn't actually give any direction for where to go with size. It's like, oh, okay. Or resonances, she'd be calling it. Or larynx height, if people are more used to those terms. Our strategy was getting super soft and that getting very femme. Yeah, but if all you've done is weight, then
all you're going to end up with is like a voice like this, where we have all of that weight taken out of it, but we haven't got any of that smaller size. And I imagine most people are
really wanting like the big impact thing of size, or larynx height, or whatever. Larynx height, Charles would be proud. Yeah, I mean, I have some disagreements on like Charles's specific view on that, but I don't really care that much. Either way, like it's not a big deal. Main issue I run into with describing things as larynx height is mainly just the way that students interpret that, because I find a lot of people go straight into like, if I talk about their physiology, they go straight towards trying to control their physiology, which like, I don't want people trying to raise their larynx or like control the height of their larynx. I want people trying to control the sound, and that results in their larynx change, as opposed to the other way around. Because like, the thing you're dysphoric about is your voice, so let's focus on the sound of your voice. But also like, when people try to control their bodies from like that top-down level, usually find that people like start encountering strains like all the time. I don't think I've had a single student that took that approach that didn't, or like spoken to like a learner that has taken that approach in the past and hasn't ended up with strain or so. I haven't met a single person yet where they didn't end up with strain. So, because we don't normally control our bodies like that, you know? She was like softer weight and breathy and fry and muffle, and it was very sultry. Cool. But she can get loud. Yeah, I find that's reasonably common. Because if you think of like, it's easy to, if you're describing a sound as like soft and like a lot of the things that we would say with weights, like soft, light, gentle, well, typically when we hear those sounds, it comes with a quieter loudness. So you just have to like instruct the student, like, we're not actually looking for you to go quieter. And if they are going quieter, like, let's see if we can keep that weight, keep that stability while projecting. So like, I think I stole this off, it was either Savvy or Jessa, I don't remember which one now. But basically, imagine we're at a car park. So one I usually give them is, we're at a supermarket, I've just been shopping, and you're picking me up from shopping. You've just pulled into the car park, I've got all this shopping, I don't know where you are, so you're going to have to, like, I can't see you, so you're going to have to shout and get my attention, and I want you to maintain that lightweight. So we'll go through the drill. And I'm maintaining that lightweight. And then they need to get my attention. Hey Zara, hey, I'm over here. Hey Zara, nice and loud, while still having all of that very, very gentle weight. And yeah, if they can learn to like get my attention and be loud with a lightweight, then that helps them to, like, you have then separated loudness and weight, because you're not just like you're going for complete, you're not just like not going quiet, you're going loud while light. So it can really help with that. Yeah. And usually that can be a little bit of a tricky one sometimes, because people are often resistant to being loud because of like social norms and stuff. So you got to really like get from having the idea of like, I want people in other rooms of your house to get annoyed by this. Like, I want the people in the next door house to be annoyed by this. Get loud, you know? Because at least then it's really like, yeah, it's just divorced as much as possible. But yeah. So what do you do for most of your stuff now, Lexi? You're doing a lot of the VRC stuff. I've seen you've been very active in what's it called again? Forgetting the names of my bajillion discords that I'm in. Rainbow Library. I see you're super active over there, which is pretty cool. It seems like you guys are doing a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, what you been doing? Where are things at for you now? Are you a teacher now? Is this your income? Is this what you do now? Are you one of us? Being community lead is quite a workload. Yeah, I imagine. You got a new girl for voice gang? Oh, sick! Yo, I dig it. I've got a couple of different students. I think like 2 students that have mentioned wanting to like get to that level where they could teach one day. So it's pretty cool. So working on building up everything else at the moment, but yeah, be pretty sick. Need more recurrent students. So yeah, what do you actually like end up doing? Are you doing like workshops like I was doing until my little break at the moment, or like, yeah, do you do like lessons? Or you got one that came from Seattle Voice Labs and she injured her voice there. Yeah, it's like everywhere I go, everywhere I hear secondhand story, or like everywhere I hear about post Seattle Voice Labs, it's always people having trouble and having issues. And it's really frustrating because like, it seems like they're the only like known established place. Like, if I look like Finster, for example, has been getting voice lessons, and the first place Finster's gone is Seattle Voice Labs, and now they're promoting Seattle Voice Labs and doing all of that. And it's like, oh, like, I hope that works for you, buddy. I hope it doesn't go horribly. I really hope it doesn't go horribly for you. Same with Peerby, who is like also wanting to go with, I think has done some stuff with Seattle Voice Labs in the past, but hasn't gone anywhere. Although I think they had their own personal issues there as well. But yeah, it's never heard anyone had a good experience with Seattle Voice Labs. Like, I think I have heard some that have, but it seems very potluck. Like, it either works for you or it doesn't work for you. It's not a very consistent, I guess, results. I think a lot of it is like the ones that succeed were already going to succeed, and they just needed a practice structure essentially, and they already really knew what they were doing, and they could kind of figure it out on their own. which like is exactly what we want. But yeah. Lexi, you do workshops in VRC every Friday. Cool. And practice sessions. And then you've got your one-on-ones of the paid ones. Oh, cool. So you are doing one-on-ones. That's sick. So you're a teacher now. We teachers. This is our thing now. That's sick. Also, Finster, where's your film voice? True. I think he's waiting until like we've got it like solid before showing off, which is a harder way to do it, but whatever. But yeah, they are like, I don't know, Seattle Voice Labs. There's like a lot of things that are a bit iffy to me. Like the chest voice, head voice one is like I don't like that they do that, but like whatever, I guess. Because it is standard. Like you see those terms in papers, so like I guess it's just more an issue with a field than an issue that I'm going to put with an individual. It gets more concerning where I see stuff like teaching weight via breathiness is a bit like, the fuck? What are you doing? Like, I don't know. Like from what I understand of our teaching of weight, it's start off going breathy and then like take the breathiness out of breathiness, which is like, okay. Could have just taught weight in the first place and just taught them to go light, but okay, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there could be really difficult conflations there. I remember Pearby making an off comment of like in a stream with Vicky, where she'd mentioned struggling to figure out how to take the breathiness out of breathiness, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a struggle. Like normally I'm keeping people as far away from breathiness as possible when they work on weight so that they don't muddle the two up, and like now they're intentionally muddling. It's like, oh. that's a method. And then I see all sorts of weird stuff of like frontal resonance and like nasal resonance and stuff. I'm like, why? What? First of all, what is frontal resonance? That's not a thing. I guess you mean like front of mouth. And then why would nasal resonance be coming into anything for any reason at all? Like, I don't understand. I think where they're going with that is I think someone over at Seattle Voice Labs has gotten confused with an over full voice and nasality, which they are specifically not the same thing. They are so specifically not the same thing. But like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Maybe they refer to frontal resonance to raising the back of your mouth, back of your tongue. I don't know. I would think if they would call that like rear resonance or something. If you're going to call it, because that's like near the back, because it's the root of your tongue. But I don't know. You sway your new shoulder resonance technique will revolutionize trans voice. True, right? And like I don't mind resonance as a term. Like I diverge from Charles where he's like, resonance, what the fuck do we mean by resonance? You mean fucking nipple resonance? I'm like, well, no, they obviously have a context here. We're talking about voice. We're probably talking about laryngeal resonance. But then you do get people that are talking about fucking frontal resonance or whatever. It's like, okay, now we're clearly talking about something else, you know? Wait until you hear belly resonance. True. Get that diaphragm going. Yeah, I don't know. It's. Ugh. I wish there was like, because I always feel awkward, kind of bad mouthing Seattle Voice Labs, because at the same time, I don't have a ton of information on them, and that at least from what I've seen, there isn't anywhere that I can just get like their curriculum and like how they teach, and so like I can't even criticize them well because I can't actually see like how do they teach, what do they teach, unless I go to like all of their different workshops that are only about a single topic. Like there could be some decent stuff in there. I don't know. Yeah, it feels I don't like to criticize based on incomplete knowledge, but also I am hearing horrible things about customer service in terms of like students that incur injuries as a result of practice and as a result of their lessons, and don't get any information, or are told to pay more money before they'll get a resolution to that. It's like, Jesus, like, dude. Or like won't get any communication from teachers unless they pay more money for also communication. It's like, fucking hell. Like, what the fuck? But like, I struggle to keep up with messages with people, but A, that's because I've got a shit ton of students. And B, like, I'm not going to then charge to like, for messages. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. Like, maybe you have to like wait a day sometimes for me, just so that I have time to catch up, but I'll always get to it. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Student from there told you that they spent 4 of 6 lessons doing softies. That's nuts. Well, that's nuts if they were... like, if you're really bad at softies, I guess. Like, I've spent a couple of lessons on softies with people before. Like Mara, we've done softies probably close to 4 to 6 lessons, although not in a row. But because you had like a specific issue there. But like generally that's going to be a bit bizarre. Like I'd expect there to be a clear reason for that. There was a person on the Trans Voice server who said she was accidentally sent the curriculum and shared it, if you remember correctly. Wait, really? Yes. Is that in the Trans Voice server? Is that in relation to like the Trans Voice lessons stuff, or is that in relation to Seattle Voice Labs curriculum? Because I would definitely be interested in seeing what is their curriculum so that I can fairly criticize it, basically. Also, I gotta go soon. We'll stream for a couple more minutes, but I gotta go because I got laser in like 25 minutes. Yeah, if you have fucking, or if you know somebody that has the whole curriculum for Seattle Voice Labs, then yeah, I'm interested in seeing that. Did lessons with Seattle Voice Lessons and had a horrible experience. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. I don't hear anybody ever say good things about Seattle, or at least I don't hear anybody that's gotten lessons in Seattle Voice Labs that has a positive, that where it went well. Like everybody, it's always they had a bad experience. Yeah. Yeah, if they're down to share that curriculum, then, or at least, or even privately share it with us, and like, I will promise not to share it beyond me, just so I can have a read through. I'd be very curious. It's an interesting question. What is an interesting question? Tell me. Also, thank you. What do I think with my voice, high larynx, weight, and OPC? Yeah, I would say my voice is high larynx, weight. What do you mean think weight? Oh, thick weight? I wouldn't call my voice a thick weight. I would say I've got a really light weight. Because like I don't sound overfull, like I don't sound like this, I don't have any of this kind of a, oh, thin weight. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I'd say I have a high larynx, thin weight, and OPC. I mean, that's where most feminized voices end up. I don't think I have a ton of OPC. Like when I'm streaming, I've noticed I have more OPC. So like, if you, after stream, when I go to laser, I'll have less OPC than this. And I don't necessarily do that intentionally, it's just whatever. But yeah, I've definitely, yeah, I pretty much have those things. I don't think I have as much OPC as other people, because it's just not what I was going for. And it sounds a little bit odd as a British speaker if you have tons of OPC. I guess because of just how we are in Britain and our voices in British. But yeah, like I don't sound like this all the time. I don't have this like super like, hey, it's your girl Z. I don't have this like crazy amount of OPC. I just have like my amount of OPC. But this is definitely significantly more than is typical of me. British accent is very dark. Yeah, compared to others, definitely. Certainly compared to like American. Yeah. But I think everybody does some amount of OPC. I don't think you'd be able to get to exactly your goals with just a raising of larynx. Depending on your goals and depending on like the country you come from and stuff like that. Do you think you get too bright? If I'll clock you as a foreigner? It wouldn't clock me as a foreigner, it would just sound weird. People would just think you're doing a bit of a weird voice. Like I used to do a lot more OPC and it just didn't suit me at all. It sounded really, really weird in my voice. So yeah, so I stopped. You might remember that, Lixie, if you're around in my earlier days. Back when I was streaming on Twitch, there was like a point where I was like, you know what, I'm switching, and I switched from one to the other. I also like cleaned up a bunch of things at the same time as well, though. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those recordings because Twitch deletes that shit after a week, so we don't even have recordings of that version of me. I looked through my my voice recordings and I couldn't find any during that period. So rip, I guess. No anime voice Sarah's. I never went full anime voice. Like Winter does a really good anime voice. I never went all that level. But yeah. Alright, I'm gonna start wrapping things up because I want to make sure I'm definitely not late to laser. I need to wash my face first because I forgot to not moisturize. So in terms of next stuffs, it'll just be next week. So if you swing by on Monday the 8th, it's a shame I wanted to hang out with Lixie more. You're here, you're not often here. Yeah, if you swing by Monday 8th, 1 p.m. British time, which would be same start of as Mara's lesson today. Yeah, swing by Monday, we'll have a public lesson with Adalia, and then immediately afterwards we'll have a public lesson with Friday. We've got those back-to-back lessons. And then we'll stream for a little bit, and I'll have like an extra little bit of time to stream. And then after that, it'll be next week for another lesson with Mara. And again, that one's a back-to-back lesson with Mara and then Angelic straight afterwards. So yeah, check out all of those things. Cool. All right. I will catch you guys next time. Good seeing you again, Lixie. And yeah, hope we can catch up more at some point. All right. Have a good one, everybody. Have a lovely rest of your days. Yeah. All right. Appreciate your faces. Have a good one.